offense. And so if you want to overcome offense, I just want to encourage you honestly with just very, very practical few steps. Number one is Jesus said to disciples after they, Peter told him that Jesus, you shouldn't die. And Jesus says, get behind me, Satan, because you're an offense to me. And Jesus says this, first is desire. He says, whoever desires to come after me. I find this interesting because Jesus didn't say whoever desires to have people follow them, whoever desires to be recognized, whoever desires to be popular, whoever desires to be known, whoever desires to be invited everywhere to be the speaker, whoever desires to be recognized by everybody. He says, whoever desires to follow me. So honestly, ask yourself a question. Do you desire to follow Jesus, or do you desire to have followers? Oh, this is good. Pause for just a moment. Do you desire to follow Jesus, or do you desire to have followers? Because Jesus says, if you desire to follow me, and a lot of times what happens is we look back and see who's following us, how they're treating us, who's walking beside us, how they're talking about us. I mean, I had a situation that happened honestly this morning where, some person in our church really I felt like he undermined my authority and certain things that I was doing, and it kind of pinched me, a few days ago, or let's just be honest, yesterday. And so I went to prayer today, and I was kind of bringing that to the Lord, and I said, Lord, I don't know, it shouldn't bother me. Why this person, what they said got under my skin. And I really felt the Lord challenge me from this verse. He says, are you wanting to follow me, or are you keep looking at people who are following you? So the first question you have to ask, what is your desire? Do you follow? Do you want to follow? Or do you desire to have a lot of followers? Number two is you have to deny self. Jesus says, if you desire to follow me. So how do we deal with offense? Desire to follow Jesus more than you desire to get many followers or to please people. Number two is you deny self. Not develop self, not pamper self, but deny self. An example of that is Jesus. He came not to be served, but to serve. Inflated self-esteem, injured pride, and wounded ego. We have to lay that at the altar. Deny self. Don't pamper. Don't expect people to worship you, self, but lay that at the altar and deny self. Number three is discipline yourself in carrying your cross. Jesus says, deny yourself and then pick up your cross. Your cross is the hardships that will come with following Jesus and fulfilling your calling. In other words, Jesus says, I want you to deny yourself. I want you to desire to follow me. And then he says, honestly, pick up your cross. And so that means that learn to endure certain hardships. Develop a thick skin. A lot of Christians have a very, very thin skin. They don't endure hardships. They crush under hardships. The Lord wants us to pick up our cross, meaning hardships that follow following Jesus. Hardships that come into our life, living Christian life. These hardships are not taken away. We pick them up and we follow Jesus carrying our cross. And number four is devotion. Honestly, fix your eyes back on Jesus. Jesus says, Satan, you are an offense to me. Why? Because you're mindful of the things of men. It's funny how Jesus did not say, Satan, you are mindful of the things of hell and Hades and Gehenna and like all the demons. You're mindful of demons. No, Satan wants to redirect your attention from God, not to Lucifer, not to demons, but to men. What men think, what men said, what men did. As long as your attention is always on men, obsession is with men, you honestly are falling for the trap. You can fall for the trap of offense. And then the next thing is that deal with roots. If you notice that you're already not just being offended once in a while, you're actually an offended person. You constantly get offended. You really need to talk to the Lord to reveal to you as well, where is this coming from? Is this something that had to do with your parents, how you were maybe mistreated first time? Perhaps there was an abuse that took place. Ask the Lord to reveal roots or open doors where the demon of offense entered. And the last thing that brings me to it is you might need to have deliverance. Why? Because offense a lot of times is not just a trap. When you let it inside of you and you cultivate it and you allow that to become your thinking, it actually can become a stronghold, and it can open a door to actual demon of offense. That even if you repent of offense, you reconcile with those people, only to be offended again. And people like that, they need to be delivered, and they need to break those strongholds so that they can walk free, and so they can encounter offenses but not become offended people, so they don't cause offenses to others, and so that they mature in the Lord and they don't fall trapped to these traps of the devil. Offense is a trap. Offense is a bait, like John Bevere says. It's a bait of Satan to lure you into a life that is bound by the devil. He wants to trap you into that. If you're offended, ask God to expose the roots. Deny yourself. Put those feelings at the cross. Desire to follow Jesus more than please people and who's following you. And follow the protocol, the recipe that Jesus gives us, and Jesus will bless you.